Introduction is coming on first, right?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Enrique Pascal Show. Today is the Katrina Takeover. We want to thank you guys for tuning in this evening, and we want to take this opportunity to ask you to share. Tell all your friends to tune in right now. We are going live.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here. I want to just compliment Enrique on a successful season.
Thank you.
And 4D, they are in the building. And tell them thank you for all their hard work and for putting up with this man here, who has been giving me instructions the whole ride over.
I'm just excited to have you.
I know you're excited. Yeah. I'm so excited too.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. But I just want you to know that you can just sit back and enjoy the ride.
It's your takeover.
It's my takeover. I got tonight. All right, so Enrique, this is the moment everyone has been waiting for. Yes, we sit at home. We've come to you guys live. We've done What's the 411.
Right.
And so now you got this big thing going on, all of this lighting that can be intimidating, and all of these beautiful people sitting around watching.
Yeah.
You've grown.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you've grown, and I really do see your vision, and I just want to congratulate you on moving forward.
Thank you.
With changing lives and helping people stay together.
Well, you're a very instrumental part of this too. So thank you for supporting.
Yes.
I mean, just your support means everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have my full support.
Thank you.
Yes. So tonight we're just going to share our hearts with you guys. One thing about our relationship is because people love so much and they love genuine love, we always get asked questions on a daily basis about our relationship. So, in order to help someone else, we are here to be transparent and just ask questions, ask all the questions you want. We will answer anything. So we're here today just to give you a little look into our lives.
Right. We're gonna go from the beginning.
Yes.
Of our relationship.
Yes.
And the middle. And also the present.
Yes.
So let's get to the beginning.
Okay. So the first question that we always get is, how did we meet?
How did we meet?
How did we meet?
Right.
Enrique and I met at a party that he was throwing. As you know, he was a promoter in the music business. And my girlfriend, Robin, I hope she's watching. She can bear witness to this story.
Robin.
So Robin, she wanted to go out. This is when I was partying. And she said, Trina, will you go to this party with me? So I said, I really don't feel like it. I said, I'm not in the mood. She said, please, come on, let's just go. So I said, okay, I'll just go. So when we get to the party, I see this brown chocolate specimen outside.
You're talking good now.
Yeah, so I said, Robin, who's that guy? She was like, oh, that's Enrique. He's doing big things. You haven't heard about him? I was like, no, but I like the way he looks.
Hey, man, you smart woman.
So I walked to the door, and he's standing there. So as I approach him, he says to me, he says to the guy at the door, hey, let her in free. So I'm like, who does he think he is? I'm like, whatever, I got my money right here. So I give it to the guy anyway, so I go into the party. So the whole night, we're playing cat and mouse. And at the end,
No, I wasn't paying you no mind. After that, you ain't gonna shut me down one time. I think I'll be sweating you.
You were paying me a lot of mind.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
So anyway, at the end of the night, I knew the night was getting close, so I think I gave you my telephone number.
No, what you did was you pointed at me like that.
Oh, yeah,
and you said,
come here.
And I said, who, me?
Right.
I looked around like, you ain't talking to me? Now after you shut me down, you trying to get me to come? Boy, I started moving over there, boy. Stop walking like an Egyptian over there.
Right.
What? Give me that number, girl.
Right.
Yeah.
And so after I gave you the number, I think it took you 2 weeks to contact
2
me.
weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so after you contacted me, we got together, and
I had to let you sweat a little bit.
Right. Well, you didn't let me sweat much, but I can tell you this: we've been together every day since.
Never left your side.
Never left my side.
But there's a part of the story I want to tell.
Okay.
And this is amazing because truly we have to understand, guys, that God does order your steps. Before I met you, we were in the car. We were driving. Me and two friends of ours. We were driving. And these two guys were talking about Trina, about how amazing she was. And I was listening to this, man, and I was like, wow, who is this girl? So what I said to them was, I said, where is she? And they said, like, what do you mean? I said, where's this girl like you guys are describing? So they said that she's at work. And this is what I said. I promise you. I said this. I said, I bet you if I see her, I will get her. Never laid eyes on you, never seen her, but I prophesied that if I saw her, I was going to get her.
Archie can attest to that.
Archie can attest to that. Now, we go to this party. I'm doing this party, and she has eyes for me. And let me be transparent. At this party, I am the man. I got like 15 phone numbers in my pocket, guys.
Okay.
For real. 15 numbers in my pocket. In my right pocket, I got 14 numbers. In my left pocket, I kept her number separate. I threw those numbers away, but I kept her number. And when we started to discuss things later on, we realized that we were the person we were both talking about and never knew who in the world we were. So I'm just saying that God, this is a godly situation.
Yeah, it was from the beginning. I mean, and I will be transparent and say that it started off the wrong way, but we definitely, we're ending it the right way. And so fast forward.
Come on.
All right, so we are in this relationship. Enrique is doing parties. We're traveling a lot. Things are good. I'm going with him places. You know, everything's perfect. It was perfect.
Perfect.
So we thought. Okay. So I make a decision after being into the relationship for several years that I'm going to change course of my life. I want to do something different. I want to go back to my roots. I want to go back to church. So here, this man. Well, okay, first, let me say this. So one day we're at my house, and I don't know what made me ask Enrique. I said, Enrique, do you believe in God? And he said, yeah, I believe in God. I said, are you saved?
What's that?
He said, what's that?
What is that? Saved.
So I'm thinking, I mean, we're both in a relationship. We fornicating, you know. So, but I don't know what even sparked me to ask you that. So I said, hey, are you saved? He said, no. I said, let me call my mom. So I called my mom because, I mean, I'm not living right. I'm saved, but I'm carnal, you know. Right. So I called my mom. My mom came over, and she led Enrique to Christ.
Yes, she did. In the living room.
That same day.
In the center of the living room.
In the center of my living room, she led him to Christ.
Right.
Fast forward. So after that, it really wasn't a quick transformation for him.
No.
Yeah. So we go to church, and I take my girlfriend to church. And we go to church. My mom invites me. So I don't even know why I took the invitation on this particular day. So when we get to church, it's CC Wine, and she's there. Mm-hmm. So she starts ministering. And the tears just start flowing down my face. Yeah. And before I knew it, my hands were in the air. And Enrique was just looking at me like, oh, my God.
It scared me.
Yeah, he was like, what in the world is this?
The reason why it scared me is because during that time, I had a hold on you. Right. And it was a dominating hold. Right. It was a stronghold.
Right. We had a soul tie.
It was a soul tie. And you were crazy about me, and I knew that. Mm-hmm. And I had a hold on you. But that was the first time that I recognized that hold was slipping. Mm-hmm. When I saw you hold on to the air and love the air more than you held on to me, at that moment I knew.
Because I believe we were holding hands.
We were holding hands.
And I let your hand go.
And you was like, uh-huh. And I was like, what in the world? I said, who up there? Who you with?
Right.
Who that is?
Right. I remember.
I started saying, what in the world? Who is she holding on to? Like, and it scared me. Because I said, wait a minute. She's holding on to something, and I don't know who this thing is or what this thing is, but she let me go.
You look freaked out.
I was freaked out.
But when we left, I think I remember looking at you saying, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. That same night, I said, you was like, what do you mean? I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I want to change my life.
Right.
I want to do something different. You were like, life is good. What are you talking about? I said, you don't understand. So fast forward, I told Enrique that we were no longer going to have sex. I said, no more sex. I said, we're not married. So.
And my world crumbled.
Yes.
Listen, share this right now.
Share it, please.
It's about to get really
right
juicy. Press share right now.
Yeah, we know you want to know anyway.
Press share right now.
Share, tell everybody because you want to know. We giving you all the secrets right now.
Come on.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Share.
Press share.
So, fast forward. So.
No sex.
No sex. Oh, it's so hard for Enrique.
Oh, my goodness.
He's dying because he's not where I am spiritually.
You take notes. No sex.
Yeah, he's not where I am spiritually. So, he is dying inside. So, Enrique has an encounter through my prayer. I'm in the room. I'm on my face. I'm praying for him. I'm coming out of the room. He's looking at me like, this girl is crazy.
Yeah.
What is going on with her? So eventually he just gave in. He just said, okay, well, this God that you're talking about, I want to learn a little bit more about him.
It's amazing. It's amazing how God used the emotion of jealousy to reel me in.
Right.
And jealousy is something that he's totally against, and yet he used it for my betterment. Because when you shut me out and you were in the room and you were worshiping and hallelujah, praise God, I'm doing all of these things, and I'm eavesdropping, trying to figure out who is she in there with? What's going on?
Right.
It provoked me to jealousy.
Yes.
Yeah. And it had me begin to study the person you were spending your time with. And it really drove me nuts to see how you were giving somebody else my attention. How dare you give someone else my attention? So I began to study the person you were giving my attention to. And that's why he used to bring me in at that moment.
Yeah, because you hadn't had an encounter at that time.
Right.
I had an encounter. And so my sacrifice was greater than the love that I was experiencing for you, because I understood that there was no greater love.
Right.
And at that point in my life, I was now willing to put you before that. You hadn't got there yet.
Right.
But through my prayer and my sacrificing, it ministered to you so much that it drew you in.
Yeah.
And eventually what happened was, through my prayer, he surpassed me.
Yeah, but before all of that, though, there was still a struggle.
Yeah, there was a struggle.
It wasn't an easy or quick transition.
No, it was not.
I mean, let's talk about, for example, let's get to when we had the last show that I had at the Landmark Theater.
Okay.
Back then, the Landmark Theater, Artria Theater now.
Okay.
When I had that G Unit concert.
Okay.
And we were back there, and I was transitioning.
Okay.
Right. Let's talk about that. You know, when you saw me go through that whole situation, because what I did was, let's talk to the people about that. I was living an amazing life. I didn't want for anything. You know, I transitioned from being a drug dealer, and for lack of better words, I was successful as a drug dealer. And then I went from being a drug dealer to being connected in the music industry to the biggest name in hip hop.
Right.
Jay-Z.
Right.
And that opened me up to many other people in the game. So I had a good 15-year stretch of not having ever having any financial issues, or never even wanting or needed for anything, because I had everything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now you get saved. And when you get saved and I begin to change and follow you, it was a heck of a transition.
Right, but I have to say that it was a choice that I gave you.
You gave me a choice.
I didn't make you.
No.
You know, I just told you, this is what I'm doing for myself.
Sure.
Either you can come or you can stay with the life that you have. So the decision that you made was to come with me, come with Christ.
Come with Christ.
Right. So just watching you to talk to, elaborate on how you were throughout that transition, it was hard.
Very hard.
It was hard for the both of us because I had feelings of guilt, because I said, Lord, I know that this transition is not easy for him, and that the road that we have to travel is going to be hard. But I already know that God is faithful because I've experienced him and his works. But to tell you that, you weren't there yet.
No.
So I'm saying, Enrique, hold on.
The transition.
Just hold on, Enrique. And you're looking at me like, girl, you crazy.
The transition killed me.
Yes, it almost killed you.
Because it made me angry.
Yes.
To the point of suicide.
Yes, at me.
And I didn't like you.
You were mad at God.
I was mad at God. Mm-hmm. And I remember being so frustrated. And the reason why I was so frustrated is because I went from being this dude, this amazing guy, mm-hmm. to now being in a place where the walls are caving in. Mm-hmm. How do you go from having, how do you go from making $100,000 in one night? Mm-hmm. And now as it began to transition, my lifestyle didn't change, but the money stopped coming. Mm-hmm. And the very thing who made me, I was literally, and you had a front row seat to this. Mm-hmm. You saw me begin to be stripped mm-hmm. of everything. Mm-hmm. Everything that made me, I was stripped of. Mm-hmm. Especially in the area of my manhood. Mm-hmm. I was even stripped of my manhood. And one of the things I remember, and I get somewhat emotional when I think about this, was the day that I knew there was the day I knew I was going to die. Mm-hmm. Besides being emotional or suicidal mm-hmm. is the word. I remember one day remember this day? I was driving in the car with you mm-hmm. and it was a rainy day and I rolled the window down and from the core of my being, from the pit of my soul, I screamed at God. Mm-hmm.
I remember.
And I screamed at God with the intent of kill me tonight.
Yes.
Because this is too much for me to bear.
I remember.
I'm so frustrated. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how I can be on this side of things and live life good mm-hmm. and be on this side and struggle. Mm-hmm. Why are you stripping me of everything that made me me? Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that took us through a moment of hell in our relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, a moment of fury. Because here I am constantly trying to encourage you and to tell you to hold on, but you're not even liking me because you're like, if you didn't introduce me to this God, then we wouldn't even be here. Yeah. Right. So.
What am I holding on to?
Yeah, what am I holding on to? Because you hadn't had an experience. Me growing up, understanding about relationship, I knew that we would pull through it, but you were not convinced.
I didn't have the blueprint.
Right.
I thought, my mindset is, if I'm doing good as a sinner, mm-hmm. then I'm going to do real good.
And another
as a person who's saved.
Right. Another thing that I think probably at that time too, we were going to a lot of conferences, and so we were getting all of these pep talks, really, and I think a lot of Christians hold on to that because, it's a method to it. God is faithful, but it's not like hitting the lottery. You understand? Right. And sometimes if you don't understand what a relationship is, you will get a false sense of hope if you go to something like that, a big setting where they're saying, if you do this, you're going to get this. If a person that's not a seasoned Christian doesn't understand the principles, then they'll think, okay, yeah, I'm rolling with God now. I'm going to be good.
And it was far from that.
And it was far from that.
Far from that. It was literally a death. Mm-hmm. And what happened was we lived separate from each other.
Yes, for a year.
For one single year.
1 year.
And I lived alone. I lived alone in the house. And while living alone in this house, this was one of the most darkest moments of my life. I remember being in this house, looking at the walls, and feeling the enemy just all out attack me. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that gave me refuge during that time was reading the Bible. Mm-hmm. And I became obsessed with it because that's the only place where I found some clarity and I found some peace. But it was straight hell. Mm-hmm. And during that 1 year transition, mm-hmm. when we lived separate, mm-hmm. it brought me closer to God. And it gave me some sense of relief, but I still had this struggle. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions that they have here is, how do you support a man who is going through a spiritual transition? And talk to a woman out there who was going through how do you support a man who was going through a spiritual transition?
The way you support him first is by prayer, fervent prayer. You have to stay on your face, you know.
Right.
You have to stay on your face for that man. And, you know, sometimes at night when you was asleep, you didn't even know it, but you remember waking up saying, what is this on my head? I would anoint you in your sleep.
Look, you could have fried me with that much oil you put on me.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, all the time. I would pray over you all the time. But not only that, I would find scriptures that was pertaining to you, and I would speak those words over you. And not only that, I would just encourage you every chance I had. I would say, Enrique, it's going to be good. It's just hold on. But he also placed people in your life too, that were there to encourage you, like Mother Randolph, my mom, Lori, people that helped you get through it. There was always somebody there to, you know, encourage you and help you, you know, to see you through the transition that you were going through. So, you know, the best thing you can do for your mate when he's going through a transition is to just pray.
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
How did you know? Because someone needs to hear this, because it can be confusing.
Okay.
They can be in a situation where they need to get out of versus one that they need to stand strong in.
Got you.
How did you know that I was the person to stand strong in and not walk away from? Press share right now. Somebody out there, press share right now, because somebody needs to hear this to be delivered. There's a woman who's questioning whether or not she should leave or stay.
Okay.
And you could be confused because your emotions could be the reason why you stay there when you should really go. How did you know that this day would come? Somebody press share right now. Go ahead.
Okay, so how I knew this day would come is because I believe when I met you for the first time that I already knew. I think we were riding in the car one time, and Enrique is Spanish. And so you told me that you had, in a dream, an encounter with God. He had visited you when you were how old?
At the age of 5.
You were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Now, this is before you and I were even thinking about going to church.
Yeah.
This is at the beginning of our relationship. And so I said, oh, yeah? I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You didn't know that I had been going to church all of my life. So you told me that in this dream, he said something to you.
Right.
What did he say?
At the age of 5, I was sleeping. I'll never forget it, like it was yesterday. And I was asleep, and I was taken in the vision. Now, I want you to understand that we were not raised in a godly house. We were not godly people. We did pray, but we were not godly people. But at the age of 5, the Lord came to me in a dream, and he said to me in Spanish, "Hoy es el día de Jesús," which means that today is the day of the Lord. Right. And when he said that to me, I woke up. I was like, you know, and I went to my mom and I said, hey, I had this dream. And I told her what it was, and I told my whole family this dream, and all they said was that was a good dream. But they never elaborated on what that meant.
Right, so.
With your smart self.
Right.
You saw something with that.
Yeah, so you told me that, and I was like, wow. I was like, it bear witness with me. I was like, this is my husband. I was like, really? And the more I got to know you and I really saw your heart, I was like, this man is going to win souls for Christ. See? But only the Holy Spirit could have given me that revelation. Yeah. So that's why I fought so hard through your transition, through all of our blended family stuff and all the arguments and all the fight, because I wanted to see it through to the end. But I would tell a woman to really seriously, if she wants to know that if this guy is the one, that she really has to get to know God first, because he is the revealer of all truth. Yeah. And so if you don't do that, then, you know, I would just say you won't know, you won't have a clue, because he has to tell you. Yeah. You know, he has to tell you, but you have to have an ear to hear, because I believe that there are times that God does reveal to women, like, this may not be the man for you, but you will go against that. Right. And see, you can't go against it and then pray God change him. Right. Because I do believe he will reveal those things to you in the beginning. There's something that has happened to let you know that this is not the one, but you will go past your natural feelings And then in the end, you would say, hey, God, help me.
Right. So there was a knowing on the inside of you.
There was a knowing on the inside
Okay.
of me.
Okay, cool.
There was a knowing on the inside of me.
You ladies hear that? Now, don't get it confused, okay? You may be in a situation where this is not your reality.
Right.
All right. And understanding also that we went through hell and back to get to this situation here.
Yes, we did.
This wasn't no overnight process.
No, it wasn't.
But what I'm saying is, what she just said is, you have to be in position to hear from God and make sure that he's speaking to you to let you know that this is not you. This is not your husband. Yeah. This is not the one for you to be with. And that's very key, because that could be a matter of life and death a lot of times with all of this abuse that happens in relationships.
Yes, yes.
Let's segue into something you just talked about.
Okay.
Blended family.
Blended family.
Let me say something before you go there.
Okay.
I want y'all to see something here. This is really powerful. And those who know me, you guys know what I love to do. Before I even say it, I want you to do me a favor, because I'm about to give you wisdom. I want all you guys on Facebook Live right now to hashtag wisdom. I'm not going to say a word until I see one hashtag wisdom. You know how I go? Because when I see this, I go slam off. Hashtag wisdom now.
Hashtag wisdom.
Let me see. Come on. Hashtag wisdom. Hashtag wisdom. Come on, let me see that. I'm not going to say one word until you give me my hashtag wisdom. I got to see this. All right? Where's it at? Yes. Come on, give it to me.
Hashtag
I got to see one. I don't see one yet. Because somebody hashtag wisdom. There you go.
All right, Tiffany. Thank you,
love you.
Tiffany.
Thank you. Sharon, thank you. Thank you.
All right, Tiffany.
Thank you. Amira.
Thank you, Amira.
Check this out. Check this out. We're going to segue into a blended family. But I want to give you a piece of revelation. Here's revelation. God is so amazing. He's all-knowing. That he knew that a blended family would be a major issue in society.
Yes.
Most people, most families experience some kind of blend in it. God is so awesome that he knew that a blended family was going to be a major issue, that he birthed himself in a blended situation. Let's go deeper. Joseph was not the father of Jesus. He was his stepfather, because God is the father of Jesus.
Amen.
Right? So God is his father. So Joseph was his stepfather. Now, Jewish custom says that when you have a boy, you name the boy after you or someone in your family. Wisdom. Here go wisdom. Here go wisdom. Joseph did not name Jesus. Jesus had a name. Independent from him. He was not even able to name the boy.
Right.
And no one in that family was named Jesus.
No.
So that alone was problematic. So that alone let people know that, wait a minute, this is not a regular situation. This man is naming, or this son has a name Jesus, and no one in their family name is Jesus. So that's problematic right there. God knew this would be a problem, that he blended himself in a blended situation. Let's talk about the blend that we had to endure to the point of divorce.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This almost broke us. The blend.
Yes.
Almost broke us.
Yes, it did.
Let's go there.
Yes, it did. So I have an older daughter, Taylor. She's 24, and it's just been her and I for most of our life. And then I meet Enrique, and I'm getting serious about this relationship. And so now we're talking about marriage. So to a young girl who has her mom to herself, this had to be hard. I'm not Taylor, so, I can't speak for her, but it had to be really hard, because now she has to share time with this man. And now, for the first time in her life, I'm talking about, I'm going to get married.
Right.
She didn't like you.
No.
She didn't like you at all.
I didn't like her.
Right. I understand that.
We like each other.
No, you didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
You didn't. Just keeping it real.
Just keeping
you
it
didn't
honest.
like each other.
I didn't like her. She liked me.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And you didn't like her because you're taking her mother away. And at that time, to be totally honest, you weren't mature enough to handle a situation like that, because you couldn't understand her feelings.
Well, I felt rejection.
Yes.
And because I was raised without my father,
Yes.
I already had that rejection issue in my life.
Right.
Not seeing him and not having him around, I was raised in rejection. So what she was to me was a trigger.
Right.
When she rejected me, it was just going.
Absolutely.
It was just terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't like it, and so it was hard for me to be in the middle of that because she doesn't care for you, you don't care for her, and you can't understand why she's deliberately trying to do things, to get in between the relationship, and you're treating her as if she's your age. And I'm connected to her. I'm connected to you, and I'm in the middle, and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And so I don't think until also, you couldn't understand why I would not let you discipline her.
Right.
And I said no. Discipline has to come from me because I knew you were not in a place to even tell her anything at that time because there were already barriers that were up.
What makes sense is if you are in a blended family, what happened here? Is this off again? If you are in a blended family, no, it's off. You sure?
Okay.
I don't see it.
Okay.
If you are in a blended family, what makes sense is to always have the premier parent be the one to discipline. Mm-hmm. Because if not, that will start a major issue in the relationship. Mm-hmm. The word of advice is that you should always meet behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. But if you're the mother or if you're the father, you should be the main voice in that situation. Because if not, then it would be a major, major issue in the relationship.
Yeah. And it was. Yeah. And it was. And to the child, even sometimes at that time, even if I had said something to her and it came from me, she would always say, did Tone say that?
Right.
Did he say that?
Right.
And so I always had to defend, no, these are my words. Because I think she thought that when I was by myself, that there was a little more leniency than it was when there was with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think she saw that as a threat because she's thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that. And so, and then she was also going through her teenage stuff.
Right.
You understand?
It was a tough time.
It was just a tough time. I mean, I didn't know, to be honest with you, if I was coming or if I was going. And it was hard.
I remember, to be honest, I remember, I don't know how you kept it together. Because it was like having, and I got to be transparent, be honest. It was like you being a referee, because here you are loving this man and then loving your child, and you are in the middle of two people tug of war, and it was selfish on both sides. Mm-hmm. But because I was going through all that I was going through, and all the frustrations that I had, and not being where I am today, I just didn't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So it was absolutely hell. It was hell being in the household with that. And seriously, I'll just be honest, I don't know how you held it together.
Yeah. And then once things started to get, it seemed like we may have, been we were at the light at the end of the tunnel. Then I get pregnant with Scott.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So, she comes 2 months early. She has health issues.
She was born 2 months premature.
2 months premature. And now my daughter has to take a back seat to her sister that I've had with this man.
Who she don't like.
Yeah, and she thought that she was going to be the only child.
Right.
And now here, how many years later? What is it?
Right.
13 years later?
Right, something like that.
17 years later. Right. Here comes this child, and then she has the nerve to be premature, and we have to run back and forth to the doctor for her. So, she's taking a back seat again.
And the problem is now it's a different element, because now we have this child and you and I are together, and she didn't experience that with with her dad and you. So having that's a whole nother monster.
But not only did she not experience that with her dad and I, your kids didn't get to experience that full term either.
Sure.
So it's like all the kids feel some sort of way.
Right.
They honestly do. But, praise God that we are so good now. Right. Because, the time that we have as a family is so much different. It's
But-
so better.
But
so much better.
But there was a lot to get there.
It was a
We're
lot.
good. We're good now.
We're good now.
But getting there wasn't an easy thing.
It was tough.
And to be transparent with you, it's hard to love when you don't know what it is.
It is.
It's hard to love when you never received it. It's hard to love when you never gave it. So here I am. I'm a man in training. I am a father in training. I'm a husband in training. So when you don't have the blueprint and you were birthed in all of this disorder, then all you give is that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I gave you. Because, you know, my culture taught me that when you grow up, you have multiple women. You use fear tactics. I mean, this is my culture. You know what I'm saying? So I embraced that because it's all I knew. So now when you came into the picture and started to, you know, to help me with the transition, you come now and dismantle my foundation. So now it was all learning. And it's amazing because, you know, I wrote a book called What Does a Real Man Look Like? And it's amazing because I learned to be a man through a woman, not another man. It's amazing.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, and then I'm going to get to JT's question, but on the flip side of what you're saying, yeah, that's so true. But for me, as a woman, growing up not having a father in the home because my father was deceased, that was hard for me because I didn't want to take instruction. I really didn't want to hear anything that you had to say.
Talking about bumping heads.
Yeah, because I felt like you're not my dad.
You tough as nails.
Yeah, I was tough as nails.
She tough, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, she tough money.
Hey, anybody that knows me knows that I love hard, but hey, I'm tough.
Here's the problem. I am an alpha male. She's an alpha female.
I'm an alpha female.
Go figure.
Yeah.
God got a sense of humor.
Yes.
Gonna put me with somebody like you.
Yes. So we have that going on. You not having an example of a man. Me not having an example of a man.
We manless.
Oh, we both men in the house.
How many times have I told you, you just like a dude?
You all the time.
I told her on many occasions, are you a guy? Is there a man somewhere in you? Because I mean, she used to be like, well,
Right.
I'm like, yo, man,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you a dude or what?
Listen, because I felt like there was not a man in my life. I had to protect myself.
You
You
did
know
a good job.
how many women feel like that though? That's the hardest thing for a woman that's trying to be in a relationship. There are a lot of women that feel that way.
Right.
But not to get off course, getting back to JT's question. So what strategies did we use to make the blended family work?
I think one of the things that we did, to answer your question, JT, one of the things we did to really introduce and soften the situation, when we were getting married, we went through counseling.
Yes, extensive
counseling for like 8 months of counseling.
I don't remember the exact time.
It was a
it
long
was
time
a long
frame.
period of time.
And one thing that the counselor did was he went to ask Taylor's permission. Do you give them permission to be married?
Yes.
So that was one of the things that he did to make her feel included.
Yes.
And wisdom, because he was so smart, he knew that she didn't feel like she was a
Included.
part of. So we went and asked her permission to marry, and she said yes. And another thing that we did, JT, is that we had her partake in the wedding plans. She planned the
helped.
wedding. She helped pick colors,
Yes.
the cake, I remember,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes, she did. She
Yeah.
did. But I think the strategy that we use more than anything is just living an example before the kids and letting them see that we really did love each other.
Right.
You know, I think once they bought into that made it work. You know, because they even, you know, the kids had to get comfortable with one another.
Right.
You know.
The blend was crazy
Yeah.
because I had 3 prior children.
Yeah, I have
Right.
one prior.
You have one.
Right.
And now Sky, we call her the glue. She's
Yes.
the one in the middle
Sky is the glue.
that brings everybody together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So my kids didn't have me with their mom like that.
Right.
And then your daughter didn't have, or our daughter.
Yes.
Our daughter. Your daughter then, our daughter now.
Yes. Yes.
When you are in a blended family, you must get used to the word our.
Yes.
One of the main strategies is you have to use the word our,
Yes.
inclusion.
Yes.
You don't say your child.
Yes.
There's nowhere in the Bible that the word step is in there. Somebody listen, press share right now. Somebody press share right now. Listen, there's nowhere in the Bible you see the word stepmother or stepfather.
Right.
So what I had to learn through wisdom is that when I married you, she became our daughter. So I don't refer to her as your daughter. She's our daughter.
All the kids.
And one of the things that I had to do also, this is another strategy that I had to do. We began to pray for our children.
Yes.
One of the things that I did was I prayed in order of age. I prayed in order of age, and she happens to be the second oldest. So she's after our first, then her, and we put the other three kids. So they knew then, wait a minute, you're putting her before us. Absolutely, she's the oldest. So that's the other thing that we did. We got rid of the word your daughter, your child, our, and when we prayed, we included her right after our firstborn.
Yeah. But I want to say now, just to see how we've graduated, like Thanksgiving. We were just talking today how Thanksgiving was so beautiful, and we really didn't do much, but it's so good when I sit back and I look at everybody in the same room together and think about how far we've come.
Yeah, that was a blessing.
I'm just like, oh my goodness, it was so worth it.
He did it.
I was like, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing to see the kids bond and fight and, laugh. And I mean, I just love it because I know where we started from.
Yeah.
I know where we started from. And so I just, I'm so grateful to have that because all of that stuff in the middle is gone. It's so far removed.
Sure.
So now it's like I always compare it to the Tootsie Roll Pop.
Right.
You know how the commercial they used to have where you just keep licking because you already know that gooey Tootsie Roll is in the middle. We are Tootsie Roll.
We are in the middle.
We are in the middle.
All right, let's go right into this because everybody knows that you and I have been abstaining.
Yes.
We have been abstaining. I'm not counting. I'm really not counting for 9 weeks. I'm not counting. It's been 9 weeks. 9 weeks. I don't know this woman in 9 weeks, but I'm not counting. We got 3 more to go, but I'm not counting.
So let's get to that. Get to that.
Well, before you do that, someone said that that's a bad idea because what's going to happen is he's going to be tempted and he's going to sleep with another woman and she's going to be tempted to sleep with another man. Well, if we get tempted to that degree, I'm going to sleep with her.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely.
Nobody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is not our first rodeo because let me say this. We spoke about how we lived apart before we got married for a year. And, I mean, we didn't do it. We didn't have any sex. There was no sex involved. Maybe a couple of slip-ups. Yeah, but that's good because they can be counted on one hand.
But I was trying not to do it. You kept
that's
forcing me and took advantage of me because you know how I is.
So anyway, yeah, we did it for that 1 year. And, it wasn't hard because when you make a sacrifice for God.
Speak for yourself. It was hard.
It wasn't that hard for me. You did a great job of fooling me if it was.
It was hard at first.
But at the same time, when you do something for God, it's not hard. And I hate to say that, but I mean, I don't hate to say that. I keep repeating that, but that is the center of everything.
Right.
Because you can't buy into that unless you have a relationship. So when he is my focal point and I am focused on him, it makes everything easy for me. And I'm not just saying that. I really, really, really mean that.
Here's the question.
Okay.
Here's the question. Let's get it juicy. Because people want to know, why would a married couple abstain?
Okay.
What sense does that make?
This time.
Being married this time. Why? Because the first time we did it through marriage counseling. The second time we did it because Sky was pregnant and we were told 6 weeks into her pregnancy, if you guys keep having sex, you're going to lose this child. So we did it that time. But this time we did it with a different focus.
Yes.
So the question is, why would a couple who is married abstain and for this long period of time, 90 days? Again, I'm not counting. 90 days. Go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why we're abstaining is because, and you know, you have to be comfortable with sharing this because I'm gonna be honest with you. When my husband, he shares everything. So when I looked at my phone one day and I said, "Oh my God, Enrique told everybody what we're doing." So I just feel like
I thought you knew.
yeah, no, I did not.
Well,
know.
the people knew at the women's conference,
Yeah,
so you know
the
they told people.
That's
they talk a lot.
that's true. The people at the women's conference knew, but I mean, this is FB. So anyway, okay. Once we get past that, my husband, I said, Enrique.
Yes.
Why'd you tell the people that we are abstaining? And then I understood why. Because it's a testimony.
Sure.
The reason why we're doing it is because, and you have to agree, and this is biblical, anytime you want to go apart from your mate in marriage, it's something that should be agreed upon, okay?
Sure.
We don't do anything without being led. It's not for everybody. But at this time in our lives, it's for us. Let me say that. Because, you know, it may be crazy to somebody what we're doing, but we're led with this walk that we're taking.
But it wasn't my idea.
It was not your idea. But I'll tell you what it is helping me to do, okay? It is helping me to see you different, okay?
Sure. How do you see me?
It's helping
different
me.
How do you see me?
It's helping me to see you in a different way. Okay. And when I say that, I mean, I am really, really appreciating how in tune you are to me, you know, and how taking that out of it, it's like we have more between us than just that.
Sure.
Because that is a way that you come together to show each other. You know, you say, you know, that's how you show your love when you're in a marriage.
Right.
So for me, when that's not present, we have to show it other ways.
Sure. Because a lot of people confuse sex for love and love for sex.
Yes.
And sex is not love
it's
because
not love.
you can actually sleep with someone and not love them.
Absolutely.
I mean, and there's many people, I mean, we've done that. I mean, you have slept with someone, I have slept with someone, we all, some of us, most of us,
right,
have slept with someone that you didn't have love for.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what happened was I was having a women's conference.
Yes.
And during the women's conference, it was a mighty move of God in there. I mean, it was just amazing. Bodies all over. The Spirit of God was in there heavy. It was just amazing. And you were my assistant, and you happened to fall on the job too, being my assistant.
Right.
And I remember I kneeled down, and what I said was, as sure as God lives, for the remainder of this year, I would not lay a hand on you. I was like, what are you talking about? Because, I mean, that's not me. You know, I mean, to be transparent, I love having sex with you. I mean, with her. I mean, this is my woman. This is my wife. Right. I mean, but something had me say that. And the Bible tells us that the steps of a good man is ordered by God. So God used that. And what God did was he used that to purify and perfect us. What it has done is it has taken the emotion out of it. Really has. And have us more sensitive to each other's needs. And now your touch means more to me. Your conversation means more to me. Our discussion is way different.
We're dating.
We're dating again.
We're dating again. Yes, we're dating again. And it feels good because, you know, and that's the good part. Sex is the good part. That's the great part. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I am seeing you in a different way. Right. You know, sure. It's like I am reconnecting with you. I'm actually learning some new things about you.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm learning new things about you, and so that part of it is fun.
Right. Right.
That part of it is fun. It's exciting. You know.
I would, to be honest with you, I would, because I'm a person who advises people in relationships. I've advised many people in relationships. And I'll be honest, going through this journey, I would suggest to anyone who I advise or counsel, I would suggest to them to try this.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have to be 90 days. That may not be your thing. It could be 14 days.
Right.
But what I'm saying is there comes a time sometimes that, because we are both entrepreneurs and we're busy all the time. And there comes times where life can get in the way. And, and our marriage can become something that is just a full circle. We're going through the same thing over and over again. So what I've learned from this is that we have gone deeper in love. Right? Because love has no depth, no height. You can't pull out a ruler and measure love. Okay? So what we're learning to do is we're learning to connect with God more. And in doing that, we're giving that connection now to each other. Right? Because we have taken the emotion out of it. And now, I mean, seriously, when we first started this, I was challenged, but now I'm not. I lay next to you. I'm not even tempted. You know?
But a touch is different. You see what I'm saying? Because, excuse me, there are some people who have had trauma happen in their relationship. And they're with their mate, and they may not even be able to have sex anymore. What do you do at that point? You know, what do you do at that point? Like you said, once again, sex is not love, but it's the way that we show each other love in a marriage. You understand? So, but it cannot be everything. You understand?
No. The level of sensitivity. I'm at a place now where, let me be transparent with this. My wife is a beautician and she works extremely a lot, you know, late hours, and she's in demand. So we have a routine that we had in place. On these particular days, we were going to have sex. I mean, let's be honest, right? On these particular days, we were going to have sex.
Well, it just happened to happen that way because
your work schedule.
Your work schedule, yes.
So I don't know how many people out there are married on a schedule, but we were on a schedule. Praise God.
Just embarrass me.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. And the thing about it is, I remember, you know, now because we're in a different place, I remember you saying to me, okay, let me get myself together because I'm going to work tomorrow. So let's go ahead and have sex because I'm going to work tomorrow. And we did that. Now, taking a step back, I'm sorry. That was downright selfish. You were telling me you were tired, but I still had sex with you to satisfy me. The new and improved me would never put you in that position because you weren't engaged. You were just there to please me. And that was wrong. See, that's what I'm saying. I learned something that now, going deeper in love, I missed it because of all of these raging sperm cells in my body wanted to be pleased. That I missed what you were saying to me. I'm tired. And I'm like, okay, let's have sex. That's wrong. Because love should not have put you in that position. So now, if it's just one time a month, I'm cool with that.
No, but that's impossible.
I'm cool with it.
Mom, I'm not going to do that because my mom is all in our sex life. She always asks Enrique.
If it gets to that, I'm cool with it.
Enrique, is Katrina doing what she's supposed to do? She's watching too.
Is she?
Where's
she at? Hey, Mom. Hey, this is sex talk. Get off of this. Get off of this, Mom. We talking about sex. Bye. Bye, Mom.
So, you know, and also, is you know, on my side of things, you know, I know that you are a man and that I am your only source, and I just want you to know how I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
So it would never have to be one time a month. That's impossible because you got all this sexy beside you. How can we do that?
No, and I got you. I'm looking forward to, you know, all of that happening. But I have sincerely grown to a place where we're better than that.
We are.
We're bigger than that. And it doesn't take that anymore. So what I'm saying is, there was a place where I felt now my intellect, or I'm sorry, my spirit shows me rather, that you were imprisoned. No longer will you be imprisoned ever again. You're free. And if you're tired, guess what? Give me a hug, baby. We good. We don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? We got 5 minutes left.
Okay. So 5 minutes left. So what do? Do we take some questions from these good people?
Any questions?
Yes, we got a great audience today.
Thank you guys. We love and appreciate you guys for supporting us.
Hey,
LaFanya, what's up, baby?
What's going on? Terry, hey Terry.
Hey, Shakita.
What's
all
going
you guys,
on?
Tashelle, LaShonda, we see you. Amira.
Well, let me ask you guys, are you guys enjoying this show?
You guys enjoy the show today?
How's the show going?
All right, so true. Great teaching. Praise God.
Right.
Look, this is the part of the show where we have a call to action.
Okay.
All right, so let's do that. Let's help somebody.
Okay.
She's laughing. Look, Robin said, ain't nobody going to find y'all.
Hey.
Robin, how you know so much, girl?
You got that right.
You better believe it, baby. Mom, if you're watching, you got Sky from December 31st
to January 2nd.
to January 7th.
7th.
I'm going to get lost in you. Praise God. I'll be going to November.
Going to November. You funny.
Call to action.
Call to action.
Tell somebody something. Tell it to a woman. Talk to a woman. Talk to a
so
woman.
Call to action. I already, Enrique is putting the pressure on me.
Talk
This
to a
was
woman.
my takeover, but you notice he did most of the talking.
No,
he just couldn't
we
resist.
bounced off each other.
He just couldn't resist. I know you wouldn't. They know it too.
We bounced off each other.
Anyway,
Go
we
ahead.
did. Great
Talk to a
show.
woman. Talk to a woman.
So call to action to a woman out there who is looking for her soulmate, because there are so many women that are single, and I speak to a lot of single women on a consistent basis, and you think that there is nobody out here for you. This is the advice that I give to everybody. God has a plan for everything. He does not do anything without a plan. So when you were agreed to be able to come to this earth, because there was an agreement made before you came here, when you put your 2 feet on the ground, there was also somebody else that had 2 feet on the ground that was here just for you. You got to be diligent in praying for God to send you your mate, because his wish is for us to be in relationship with one another.
Right.
I promise you that. But you have to get to know him first. Be successfully single so that he can send you the man that he has planted on this earth for you.
All right. All right.
Amen.
Tag. All right. Listen,
All right.
brothers, listen, let me tell you something. You are not ready for a relationship if you're not ready to die. If you're a man, one of the key principles that you have to have is your willingness to die. Die to your ego, die to your manhood, die to your pride, all of that. Because when you do that, then you allow God to live on the inside of you. And when God lives, what you give to this woman is God himself. Mm-hmm. When the woman sees the God in you, she's going to submit to that person, not the man with the, I'm the man, I do it. No, that's not what she's looking for. The woman is fragile, but yet strong. So you must be a fragile person. And fragile doesn't mean being weak, but sensitive to God to the point where he will live in and through you. And only then will you experience a godly marriage, a godly relationship. Listen, this is our season finale. We're going to start doing this again January the 9th. It's a Tuesday, right? The 9th of January. Mark your calendars. Thank you guys so much for supporting what we have done. You know what? I want to thank God for the platform and the transparency. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being awesome. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for you. You have really held me together in such a way. I've learned a lot from you. You have taken me deeper, and I've never knew I can go to this degree. And I'm learning more and more because of you. And my love for you supersedes my very own life. I love you as Christ loved the church. And for that, I'm forever grateful, because you have taught me a lot. And your strength has been beyond words. Beyond words. I'm looking forward for the rest of our life to be just absolutely amazing. You're such an amazing woman, and I truly know that when God made you, he definitely had me in mind.
Yeah. Thank you for changing.
Yeah.
Thank you for being open to hear what God was saying, to even want to be the man for me. And I appreciate what you do for me every single day in our family, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank 4 Deep.
Yes, they are awesome. 4
Thank 4
Deep.
Deep for being awesome. For being awesome and just helping this vision to be a reality, because this is a platform not for us, but it's a platform for the King.
Yes.
For the Lord Jesus Christ. So thank you guys for supporting this. We'll start again.
January what?
January 9th.
Okay.
January 9th.
Okay.
All right. So listen, you guys have a great Christmas.
Yes.
Have a
Merry
great
Christmas.
Great New Year, and thank you
Yes.
for being awesome and
Hey.
supporting us. Okay,
Yes.
share this video.
Share the video.
Share the video. Our transparency will heal someone. So
Yes.
share this video.
Yes. Keep
Love
the
you guys.
family together. Love you guys.
God bless you guys.
God bless you. Thank you.
Awesome.